Guys, how we all doing tonight? You guys doing good? This is video 3. This of the Day 7 Snap Challenge for Angelic Accelerated Knowing. Or Direct Angelic Accelerated Knowing. Either way you want to say it. So, my evidence today. This was a doozy. This one was happened a lot quicker. If yours doesn't happen as fast, don't be discouraged. Some of us take longer than others. Some of us don't. Some of us have less comic knots to undo. Some of us have more. Some of us just take longer to be able to release stuff. It's just however your soul's blueprint unfolds. It's not going to always. The speed that I go at is not going to be necessarily the speed you go at. So don't feel bad if it hasn't happened yet. Okay, that's not to say that it's not going to happen. It will happen. It's just a matter of when the divine says it's time, not when you say it's time. Also, when your higher self says you've released enough and let go enough to be open to the devil. That's the thing. You can't think your way across this thing. You have to feel it. There's no middle ground. Your ego can't get in the driver's seat. You can't skip steps. You can't bypass. You can't do none of that. You're already doing enough bypassing as it is with the Angelic Accelerated Knowing. That's where it skips the mental progression of learning how to do a whole structure, and instead you know instantaneously. And the way it's been unfolding for me is, even with Angelic Direct Knowing, you don't get the whole map at all. Hold on one second. Okay, and I'm back. Sorry, I had to start my music. So with what I was saying, as far as the whole, when your soul says it's time for you to do it, it will happen. You have to do there's a lot of shadow work involved. You have to be able to go back to past wounds, a lot of trauma that anyone's had. You're going to have to revisit it, but you got to see it from a different perspective, a higher perspective. You have to take the lessons from the trauma, not the trauma themselves. You're not revisiting the trauma, you're revisiting the lesson. There's a big difference. It's massive. It's almost like the size of Texas. Is how big it is. As far as the difference goes between trauma revisiting or revisiting a lesson. Completely different. We don't want to revisit trauma. That's bad. You've already went through it once. You don't need to go through it again. Unless you're like me and you are the third type of learner. Which, it's kind of funny. My dad used to tell me that I was the third type of learner, which is, there's 3 types of learners. There's the ones that hear about it and listen. There's the type that see the consequences happen to someone else and they learn from that. And then there's the third type, this guy, that has to be clubbed in the 30 or 40 times in the head with a golf club before he figures it out that he shouldn't do something. That's me. And I guess that's because of my Vedic chart. I'm a Virgo and I'm a Taurus. But as far as my Western chart, I'm Gemini, Cancer, Libra. You'll figure that one out. I don't know. So, here we go. Angelic Accelerated Knowing. My evidence today. Let me tell you about this one. So I'm sitting at the park I always sit at. And the whole hand on the chart. Hand on the heart. And I did the proclamation of, I refuse the delay. I step into the immediate. I activate Angelic Accelerated Direct Knowing now. Efatith. Or Efatith. However you want to say that. Ephata, Efatith. Either word works. God knows what you're saying. That is the universal command. That command alone is spoken. When it's said, it means to be open. And is a command set in the universe when you're at the apex of your download, from whatever you're getting when you're sitting in your meditative state and you're not distracted and you're staying in the present, whatever vision you get at the apex of that site, apathic, that will, you're saying, be opened. And you're directing your attention to the top of your crown. And you're imagining that as an open vessel. Okay? And it's basically, what I saw was 2 walls of water vertically running. Not horizontally, vertically. 2 walls of water, like Moses in the Red Sea, but I was in between them. Wormhole of the soul opened up, and I was going upward. And in my mind's eye, after I came home and I thought about it, I was re-listening to the computer talking to me about what I had seen, because I researched it. And it is a thing. The vertical running of waters of the soul is what propels a person upward through consciousness, where what I saw was, in fact, a pillar of light. It was very brief. I did anchor when I was at the park and said, Apati, I anchor into this new awareness. Now, I'm going to go into that, because what is today about? Navigating the bifurcation point. That is that where that tension is, right here in your chest. And it's like, I'm going to crack that, I swear to God. Like, it's that highest bit of tension that you can achieve before a system snaps and goes back into the same loop, or snaps to a different dimension of knowing. And by refusing the old loop, you therefore are doing the only thing it can do, which is go to another stage of consciousness. So hopefully that all makes sense. Now, before I get too deep here, I want to say a few thanks to a couple people. Ian from 144 from the Stars, I'm giving you a shout out, brother. If you guys go to his channel and you're from my collective, you know how I do here, come correct or don't come at all. He's a good dude, and he will help you. But you better come correct. Best believe he will put you in your place. Ian, much love, brother. And as far as anybody else, I hope that y'all are with me on this. I mean, I'm having revelation after revelation after revelation, day after day after day, micro breakthrough, and I'm excited for day 7 because I know that motherfucker is just going to be a pow. So you got me talking, a mile a minute going blah, 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 blah. So navigating the bifurcation, okay? This is the day that we remember the tension. That moment when everything feels like it's falling apart. Okay? When things feel like they're going wrong, good. Stay with it. Don't try to escape that feeling. Don't try to cancel it out. Don't try to escape from it. Stay in the discomfort. Because that is your fuel that is going to be needed for that snap to occur. So, it was that point of action. The old system is shaking because it's too small for the version of you that is emerging, because you've outgrown it. Now, because you did not collapse back into the old loop of deep, and you held your deep awareness, and we stayed into the hush yesterday, while the world was screaming and the stillness of that bridge carried us across what is called the fork, which is the bifurcation point. Okay? The snap occurred the moment we stopped seeking the information and started embodying angelic accelerated knowing. It wasn't a slow climb, it was a sudden download. One moment, we're almost there, and the next, we are the knowing. Now, angelic accelerated knowing doesn't give you everything all at once. It gives you pieces, one plus 2 revelations plus 3 revelations until the seventh day unfolds, and that is going to be where everything becomes permanent as far as that knowing is concerned. This is a complete revolutionary type of consciousness expansion that I'm bringing out. And it is insanely accurate. From what I just, the first words I said from every single download I've had, from Wormhole of the Soul, those exact words came to my head. Staircase of Consciousness, day 2. Day 3, Vertical Running Waters of the Soul. Boom, 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 boom. And as soon as I looked them up, plethora of information came at me. And if you believe in coincidence or you want to shrug that off, you go right ahead. But 3 days, 3 accelerated knowings, that ain't no fucking coincidence, man. It looks like a duck and it calls itself a duck. It's a fucking duck. As far as I'm concerned, anyway. I don't have to look up the names of them. I already know them. I don't have to guess, like, oh, what does this kind of mean this? Or this kind of mean... No, I knew the exact fucking term. It's just like when people use psychic predictions or they're using their intuition. It's the same thing, except this is a direct knowing. It's not a guess. It's not a hinting, or they're not pinpointing, trying to pinpoint something. They know. Vastly different. And I think it's pretty fucking cool, man. Now, I've had, in the last few days, I've had a few other things happen with my awareness that clairaudience has gone insane as far as the volume has amped up. I can hear everybody in my apartment complex. It's like yesterday I stuck my head in the freezer to like calm the voices down. I'm slowly learning how to control that volume level. But yeah, that's been fun. So anyway, I'll tell you this much: you never are curious about when someone thinks about you. So, how did we navigate this? This is what we're going to get into. And this is where it gets really freaky. Okay? Now I'm going to read off a few notes here, so. Okay. To activate accelerated knowing and push through the near-miss cycle, focus on shifting from mental striving to spiritual receptivity. These techniques are designed to collapse time between your desire and your breakthrough. Now, we already know the hush method, and we know the granny loop to identify your blocks. Now, we're going to talk about crisis calibration. This is going to be crucial in any system reaching a bifurcation point. In the middle of transition is the moments of highest entropy or chaos. In the middle, this is when a lot of you are going to feel the strongest urge to retreat into your old loops or the comfortable patterns of almost. Because that tension, it gets really intense. I'm not going to lie to you. And you just got to push through. At that point, if it starts to drag you down, immediately declare this aloud. I refuse the delay. I step into the immediate knowing now. I refuse the delay. I step into the immediate now. Okay? That will re-anchor you back to that bifurcation point. That is where you need to be. And that is basically the shaking. That is actually the breakthrough emotion. That's where That is where piece of mail. That is where, here's your breakthrough. Here's your consciousness. Here's your breakthrough. Here's the top of your cap. This is the bifurcation point. And that shaking is where that rupture is taking place. And if you do it pre-rupture, it goes back. If you don't do it pre-rupture, guess what it does? It pops through on the other side, and there you are. Okay? Now, with everything and your crisis calibration emotion, you're in the thick of it, okay? And this will bleed over from day 4 onward until day 7, so you're aware. For many of you, tension moved from your spirit into the physical reality. Things feel a little bit chaotic. You might feel sudden surges of doubt or reason to quit. Bifurcation crisis. In system theory, right before a system reorganizes to a higher order, it must hit a state of maximum instability. The shaking you feel isn't a sign that the challenge isn't working. It's a sign that it is working. That is the old morphic field losing its grip on you. Okay? And this is proven physics, guys. So don't feel like you're failing. If you haven't gotten your breakthrough yet, and you feel like you're in just utter sheer chaos, that's not your fault. That is a good thing. You got to embrace it. Fuck the fear. Faith over fear, man. Some shit is going to come at you from all angles. Like, you're going to have a tire go flat, and then your landlord is going to be bothering you, and then your girlfriend or boyfriend is going to break their arm, and it's going to seem like you got to do all things require your attention. No. That is all forces that are trying to keep you in that bifurcation point, keep you in the old loop. That is all that is. And when you sit with it and saying, this can wait till I'm done with my meditation or whatever, there you go. Don't negotiate with it. Don't argue with it. Don't negotiate it with it. Observe it. That's all you can do. And when you observe that you are just sitting in nothing or standing in nothing but chaos, that's where chaos becomes your bitch. Okay? So, and that's coming straight from someone who's been in chaos for like, God, I don't know how long. So, I know a thing or two about it, all right? Now, stop analyzing the chaos. Deep awareness means you don't judge the storm. You just watch it. Like I said, just observe. If things look messy right now, let them be messy. Don't try to fix old reality while you are in mid-leap into a new one. You don't want to leap and with a broom and dustpan trying to sweep off the floor while you're leaping across it. You realize how stupid that looks? You're not going to get a whole lot of dirt, I guarantee you. You're just going to add to the chaos if you do that. It's like trying to pick a door to a locked door that's already open. Like, walk into the room, you douchebag. You don't got to do that. And I'm not calling you guys douchebags. I'm saying people don't realize when they're so ingrained in loops and they get so caught up in chaos they have a very difficult time of taking a step back and seeing things for what they are. Because they get emotionally attached and they let their emotions rule them. And this is where I said you have to step outside of yourself and observe. Not feel, observe. Like a scientist would a rat. In layman's coldest terms, think of it like that. So when you get angry, you can feel angry, yeah. But step outside yourself and say, I observe frustration. I observe anger. As soon as you do that, that feeling goes bye-bye. quicker anyway. Not as quick as you would like, but that's because you're not a narcissist and you're not completely detached from emotions and don't have full apathy. This is a healthy way of feeling the emotions just as much, just not letting them control you. This is what it means to become a master of emotions. When you can do that, you can be a master of observation. And when you can do that, you can be a master of observing your life. Okay, guys? So, lean into it. Lean into the chaos. Observe as much as you can. For as long as you need. But do not participate. Okay? Now, when you are at the apex, the highest point, where you think that pressure is coming, and if you are at the top of your staircase of consciousness, which is every layer of a staircase, every stair on that staircase, going upward in a spiral staircase of consciousness, is a loop. Yes, but it's going vertically instead of horizontally in the linear line. And that is your consciousness evolving. It revisits the same scenario, but from a higher perspective, from a more in-depth perspective, a more wise perspective. And it already knows what to do. I've been here before. Okay, I already know what to do. Kind of deal. So, while you're going on the staircase and you're observing your emotions going up, don't get lost in it. Don't. If the moment you feel your emotions are ruling you, declare that same decree aloud. I refuse to delay. I step into the immediate now. And at the apex of this, and you declare, I activate angelic accelerated direct knowing now. Epatha. Or apathith. That one command, that is a frequency in itself. And that is a direct command saying, be open to the universe. And that is where you direct the attention to your top of your crown and imagine your head as a vessel, as an empty vessel. Direct your attention upward. Keep your hand on your heart to stay in the present and let your mind go blank. And the very next thought that comes into your head or the next thing you see, that is your exact download. Don't second guess it. Write it down. Say exactly the words that come out of your mouth or to your head. Research it if you need to, like I do. Because I always like to verify that I'm not just talking out of my ass. So, and this is a good way to do a self-check as well. This is also another way to make sure your ego isn't fooling you into thinking that you've done something. Ego has this wonderful little game it likes to play of saying, oh yeah, I've taken a back seat and it's still in the driver's seat. And sometimes when we think we get a breakthrough, we haven't got the breakthrough yet, and we need to sit with it just a bit longer, and that's when you get it. And that's a way to do a check, because if it's not showing nothing, when you look it up, that's the ego tricking you. Now, this is going to lead to day 4, and that day is going to feel heavy as fuck. All right? That's like with turbulence. The plane is going to start shaking, and like people are start screaming and oxygen masks come down and everyone's just like, oh my God! That's where you command Epatha. And you will be amazed at what happens. Anyhow, that is my little 24 or 5-minute video on today's lesson of how to navigate your bifurcation point. And to activate angelic accelerated knowing is exactly the phrase I said. I activate angelic accelerated direct knowing now. My mind is open to receive Epatha. And I really, this is my evidence for you. What I saw was vertical running waters. I want to see what you guys get. Put them down in the comments. Even if they're little micro breakthroughs. Even if they get stupid. Every breakthrough is important because it helps this collective resonate with each other. And it will therefore build upon this morphic resonance that we're building. The new field. Okay? Anyways, love y'all. Hope y'all are doing well. Until tomorrow. Namaste.